What's up guys? Today I've got an important video for you because we've just had a big round of nerfs that should be live now for Wild. And though these changes were mostly intended for Standard, they actually do shake up the Wild meta quite a bit, so let's get right into it. First, make sure to follow me on Twitch if you want to catch me playing in the new meta and see what decks are good. I'm live every single night at midnight PST, and if you want deck lists, you can find those in the Discord, link in the description. First, we have Corsair Cache. Now, I think this change keeps the spirit of the card, but it is a little bit worse. Instead of the weapon being +1/+1, it is just +1 durability. So what this means is that for Pirate Warrior, every single swing of that tutored weapon is going to have one less attack. And if you think about how many times Pirate Warrior upgrades their weapon, that is a lot less damage over the course of the game. I don't think 1 or 2 damage typically changes a game, but it can, and I think that 3, 4, and 5 damage certainly can change a game very frequently. So this is a big change. I think Pirate Warrior falls, but is still likely tier 1. And I think this card will still see just as much play as before. Next, we have Dragoncaster. This card was used to cheat out LPG 1 turn early. Now you can't do that anymore, so this card is totally useless. It is outclassed by Inkmaster Solia, but Inkmaster Solia is a terrible card and you shouldn't run it. So this effect is just gone from LPG Mage. I didn't think it was that good to begin with. It was a bit high rolly, so the deck is still fine, except for the change that we're going to talk about next. So Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, the dragons now cost 1 instead of 0. This is a big change because it means that you just can't play DQA for tempo on turn 9 anymore. Unless you have, well, 2 coins, I suppose. You're not going to get the dragons down on turn 9, which means that this card is probably coming down a turn later, or it's coming down on the same turn but much, much worse. So the card will still see play in decks with discounts like LPG Reno Mage because the card costs 1 most of the time, but in other decks like Reno Priest, I don't see it seeing play anymore because it doesn't have those game-saving situations that it used to. Even though those were pretty rare, overall, I think this card hurts a lot, even if the change makes sense for Standard. Next, we have Fungal Fortunes to 3 mana. So Fungal Fortunes is played in pretty much every Druid deck right now because they don't play too many minions. There's even a good Linecracker build going around that just runs 2 Linecrackers and multiple ways to discount the combo, and it's actually a pretty solidly consistent deck. I don't think that deck needed a nerf. I don't think Jade Druid needed a nerf, but the decks in Standard warranted this, so, well, Linecracker, Jade Druid, and perhaps some crazy combo Druids are gonna take a hit from this. This card was really good because it came down on 2 and then you could follow it up with your 3 mana spells, but now that's just not an option anymore. And on the turns where you draw a ton of cards, it's going to give you even less options with that 1 less mana. Now, Druid has a ton of mana over the course of the game, more than anybody else, so if anyone can take this hit, it's them. They'll still play it, but the card is a lot worse. 1.5 times more expensive, think about that. 50% more expensive. Next, we have Metamorphosis, just down to 4 damage, so this hurts the card by 2 damage over the course of its lifetime. This is a significant change, and it will hurt Demon Hunter. I think Demon Hunters will still probably play this card, though it is a lot worse. It's not one of the best cards in the deck anymore, because the reach potential is limited and much more expensive for the damage that you get. But this change may be the killing blow to Demon Hunter. Now, Warglaves to 6 mana, I think this just straight up drops Demon Hunter right out of tier 1. This card was so good, and combined with Metamorphosis, they had so much crazy reach that other decks just couldn't deal with. Now, that's a lot worse. Not being able to play this card entirely means they have to go a bit of a different route with the deck, and that's going to hurt them, because this card was crazy. So, a totally fair change, very warranted, and I think Demon Hunter is now tier 2. And of course, these cards never see play in Wild, so I have nothing to say. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're looking for deck lists after the nerfs, keep an eye on my Discord and my Twitch because I will showcase decks in both places. And make sure to leave a like and subscribe if this video is helpful to you. Thank you, and I'll see you on ladder.